What would you do if you heard footsteps in your house, but you were completely alone? What if the whispers followed you from room to room, but no one was there to answer? And what if the truth was this? The sounds weren't in your head. Someone was living inside your walls. This isn't a movie. This really happened. In 1987, Massachusetts. And the person behind it? A teenage boy with a face like any other, and a mind like something out of a nightmare. This is the story of Daniel LaPlante. And it's not just disturbing, it's unreal. Daniel LaPlante grew up in a small, quiet town called Townsend, but his home life was anything but quiet. From the outside, things looked normal, even ordinary. But behind closed doors, Daniel was living through a nightmare. He suffered abuse, both physical and emotional. Neglect was part of his daily routine. He struggled with severe learning disabilities and was later diagnosed with dyslexia. At school, he was bullied for his appearance and hygiene. He wore the same clothes every day. He rarely showered. He didn't fit in. He didn't talk much. And when he did, people noticed something was off. By his early teens, Daniel had been referred to a psychiatrist, not once, but multiple times. It was one of those psychiatrists who later claimed that Daniel showed signs of psychosis, but therapy wasn't consistent, and whatever help he needed, he didn't get. By 15, he was already dabbling in petty crimes, breaking into houses, stealing small things. But money wasn't the goal. He wasn't after jewelry or electronics. What Daniel wanted was access. He didn't just break in. He watched. He studied the families he targeted. He'd learn their routines. He'd go through their things. He'd sometimes leave items out of place just to see if they'd notice. He enjoyed the feeling of being inside someone else's life without them knowing. The thrill of being invisible, untouchable. It was more than a crime. It was a rehearsal. And then he found the Bowens, a widowed father and his 2 daughters, Tina and Karen. They lived in a modest home in a peaceful neighborhood. They'd recently lost their mother to cancer. It was a family in mourning, vulnerable, alone. Daniel somehow got their phone number. No one knows exactly how. He called the house pretending to be someone else, a friend of a friend. Polite. The date was short, uncomfortable. Tina felt something deeply wrong. She decided not to see him again. Daniel didn't take that rejection well. In fact, he didn't take it at all. Not long after their meeting, strange things began happening inside the Bowen house. It started small. Footsteps echoing through empty rooms, doors creaking open in the middle of the night, furniture that seemed to have moved on its own. The thermostat would drop, sudden cold spots, like icy breath against the back of your neck. Whispers, soft, unintelligible, always just out of earshot. Tina and Karen would hear things, but when they'd checked nothing was there. Their father dismissed it, said they were still grieving, that it was stress, imagination, maybe the house settling. But the girls knew better. They knew what they heard and what they felt. And then the messages began. Scrawled in red across the walls, "I'm in your room, come and find me." At first they thought it was paint until they realized it was ketchup. More messages followed, each one more unsettling, more intimate. Drawers were ransacked, objects disappeared and reappeared days later. One night Tina came home to find her mother's clothes neatly arranged on her bed. The outfit was stuffed with wadded newspaper, shaped like a human figure, a grotesque mannequin, a tribute, or a threat. She screamed. The family fled to a neighbor's house and called the police. What they found defied belief. Behind a dresser in the basement, they discovered a hidden crawl space. Inside it, Daniel LaPlante. He had been living inside their house for weeks, maybe longer. He carved peepholes in the walls to watch them. He listened to every conversation, every argument, every secret. Police found a sleeping bag, food wrappers, empty soda cans, a bottle he'd used as a toilet. He was inside the house the whole time, watching, waiting, blending into the silence. This wasn't just a break-in. It was a violation on another level, a psychological terror, a haunting, without a ghost. The family was traumatized. Daniel was arrested. He was held in juvenile detention. But whatever darkness had driven him to hide inside the walls wasn't done with him yet. Just months later, on December 1st, 1987, Daniel escaped custody. He broke into the home of Priscilla Gustafsson, a kind, soft-spoken elementary school teacher. She was 33 years old, pregnant, a mother of 2. Her husband came home to a nightmare. Priscilla had been raped and shot in the head. Her 2 children, Abigail, 7, and William, 5, were drowned, one in the bathtub, one in the basement sink. No signs of forced entry, no struggle, just silence and death. Daniel fled the scene, but not for long. A manhunt began. Police found him 2 days later, hiding in a dumpster. Subscribe to Sinister Whispers for more real-life horror and crime stories.